Hey everyone, hope everyone's enjoying the sunshine. It always says that I've got a rubbish connection when I first come on, so hopefully that you can hear me and you can see me okay. So I thought I'd come on today, and I'm not going to do like a full makeup routine. I'm just going to do a bit of highlighting and contouring, and I did a video on this, but it was probably a couple of years ago now. I'm going to use the BB cream. So these are the BB Flawless Complexion Enhancers, and they're really nice. It's like a very lightweight moisturiser, and it's also like a light foundation as well, so it's quite a creamy formula. I'm just going to moisturise my skin first because I've got really dry patches on my skin. Hi Shalene. Shalene, yesterday when you was talking to me on live, I didn't see the comments until afterwards, so I wasn't ignoring you, but do come on and say hello and maybe I'll get the comments on time today. So I'm just going to apply, this is quite a thick moisturiser, I wouldn't normally use it, but I've got really terrible dry patches on the sides of my cheeks, tiny little bit on my nose and on my forehead, so just going to try and tackle that a little bit. And I'm not going to use a primer today because the primer acts as like a barrier. Primer's great, obviously it helps keep your makeup set in place for the whole day. Oh, I just got your comment, Shalene, so the comments must be working. I don't know if there's a bit of a delay on it though. Yeah, so with the primer, it diffuses and blurs any fine lines and wrinkles, which is great. But I really want to push the BB creams into my skin today to try and help this dry business that's going on. God, I look really red. I must have caught some sun already. I went out this morning and I went to the opticians, and I don't know if anyone has had like the photograph taken of the back of the eye, the retina, and I had that done, and when I came out of the opticians it was like being a vampire, because I was just like, oh my god, the friggin' sun. I couldn't actually see and I didn't know how I was going to get home, but I did it. I had to put my sunnies on and just kind of walk blind almost, you know, keep screwing my eyes shut every time there was like, you know, a lot of sun on me. Right, I'm just going to tidy up my eyebrows before I start the contouring. So I've kept them quite light, so they're quite fair normally. They've got like a little bit of like a dark blonde pigment on them, and I'm just going to highlight using the pink, which looks a bit strange but actually works quite nicely. So I'm just going to use this mirror to do it. It's great as well because it just, if you do make a mess, it just kind of tidies up anything, and you just pull the highlight down a little bit. It just defines them a little bit. I can't always see if you're watching, like I can see there's a couple of people watching, but I can't always see who's on, so you know, feel free to come and say hello. So you can see, just highlighting a little bit. I've got no air conditioning in my car, so I'm going to dash now. Okay, I can't let me see it. Collect it from the garage, it's proper roasting hot. Good luck with your live feed. Thank you, hon, and I will get on and message you back as well. What's everybody up to? I guess most of you just finishing work. I'm going to do this as quick as I can really, so that I can get back out into the sun. Take it easy, Shalene. See you later. Okay, and we also have like a bit of wax, so I'm just going to whack a little bit of that on just to keep them in place. Okay, so I'm going to use to highlight cream, which is the shade BB Cream. Hi Lisa. And I'm going to use Honey to contour. So I'm just going to give them a bit of a shake. And I'm just going to whack them on the back of my hand. So you can see it's a nice rich creamy formula. So it doesn't matter if you apply too much with this, because it is really just like a tinted moisturiser. Get some down the nose, and then up onto the forehead, and I'll have a bit here. So it looks a bit crazy. I obviously don't do this every day, but I just wanted to show you how simple it is. And I'm just going to use a bit of that excess to take out a bit of the pigment on my eyelids. I'm looking a bit red today. Okay, so I'm going to use some Honey to contour. I've already given it a bit of a shake. Again, nice, rich, creamy formula. It's just a tinted moisturiser, so it's nothing to be afraid of. Right, so this one, and you go, if you're going to contour, just a shade or two darker, because sometimes contouring can look quite scary when people are going out with like quite dark stripes on like their cheekbones, underneath their cheekbones. I need a bit more. If you are watching, just pop on and say hello. And don't be shy. I have had trouble in the last couple of days with the lives, because the very first day it said the reception was poor. I did have some comments on the live feed, but then when I published it to my wall afterwards, they'd disappeared. So I do down the side of my nose as well. I'm just going to get rid of the excess. I'm just going to contour my eyelid a little bit as well. Okay, that'll do. So cleanse that off the back of my hand. Right, next I'm using beauty blenders, and I've already wet them, because it is better if you use them wet when you're applying your makeup. So you can use these for foundations, BB creams, powders, whatever you want. So I'm going to start off with just bouncing it and like pushing it into the skin just on the darker bit. And like I said before, I'm not using a primer because I didn't want it to act as a barrier, you know, so that the makeup sits on top of it. I wanted to really push this into the skin because it is like a creamy moisturiser, and my skin really needs the TLC at the moment because I've got mega dry patches on it. And I've been battling with them for like a couple of months, and makeup's just not been sitting very nicely on it. Right, so I'm just pushing, just bouncing the beauty blender, and you can use any beauty blender, just on the darker bits where I've contoured. And I'm going to use a smaller beauty blender just to get into the side of the nose. There's not a lot of space there. I've seen people walking around with like stripes on the side of the nose where they've not actually blended it properly, which looks a bit crazy. And I'll just use this to blend what's on the eyelid. So I just contoured it slightly in the crease and just took out a bit of the pigment on the lid with the lighter shade, so that I haven't got like a BB cream face and then like bright red lids. And I'm also wearing Epic mascara, which I haven't taken off since this morning. I just cleansed off my makeup to pop on and do this live. And my eyebrows are done as well. Like I said, it's just the pigment, so the Brow Obsession palette. Okay, I'm going to go back to using the big beauty blender and just bounce it on the lighter pigment. And you can, when you finish with this, like go over with powders as well, just to deepen the contour. And you can set it as well. Just use this smaller one near the eye. I'm not going to set it today. It's any kind of powders and things that seems to set off the nasty dry areas that I'm battling with. But I'm trying to use like the exfoliating mask to get rid of the dry bits, and then also use like this thick night cream. I've been using that during the day as well. So hi everyone, if you're watching, do pop on and say hello. And I'm also just bouncing it over the whole area now, just to make sure that there's no stripes. I'm just kind of bounce and twist at the same time, and the beauty blender is wet, so I submerged it in water and then just squeezed it out before I use it, because it does seem to give more of a flawless finish when you do that. Okay, I'm going to apply a bit more of the cream to the highlight areas, just to tackle a little bit of that redness. Do a bit more down the nose again as well. Just felt like it disappeared when I put the darker shade on. I'm just going over it just to give it more of a highlight look. You could actually do this with concealer as well, but the consistency of the concealer is a little bit too heavy for my skin at the moment. And this will be nice for the rest of the day because it'll make my skin, it's like a treat, it feels like a treatment balm on my skin. So I do love the BB creams for that. But like I say, it's only a very lightweight coverage, but you can make it more of a medium to full coverage if you apply like a powder over it. Yeah, that's looking a bit more highlighted in the right areas. Yeah, I'm a lot happier with that. And I'm going to just use the smaller one again for here. I hope you can all hear me okay, because like I said, when I first came on, it did say that I had a poor reception. So if you can hear me, either just do an emoji across the screen or just comment, let me know that you're watching, say hello. Oh, that bloody redness is still there. Okay. So it sits really nicely on the skin, and you can see just a real subtle highlight and contour. So obviously you could set it with like a translucent powder if you wanted to. I might actually go over just underneath the cheekbones and stuff and just contour it a little bit and apply a highlighter. Okay, this is just we used to sell them, it was a concealer, but I use like the very dark colour just to do a little bit of contouring. So I'm just going to do that now, just to intensify it a little bit just underneath the cheekbone. So you tend to apply from your ear, and I tend to apply it just to the base of my cheekbone but underneath. So obviously it's different on all of us, so just use your fingers to get to know your own face shape. You know, and some of us, we're not always all symmetrical either on both sides, so just make sure you just feel for where you're going before you apply the product. I always apply a little bit underneath my lip, it makes the lip look a little bit bigger. And then I'm just going to apply the excess just to the forehead, because I've got such a massive forehead. Sometimes it's just nice to create the illusion that it's a little bit smaller. Okay, and then I just use a brush just to blend that in a little bit. And I should be done soon, because then I'm going to go out and do a little bit of work outside, but in the beautiful sunshine. Considering we've only had 2 days, I'm going to make the most of it tonight. Hey everyone that's watching, come and say hello, because I actually don't know who's watching. I can't see. So you can see it's given a little bit of light coverage as well, so it has covered my red patches slightly, and it feels really nice on the skin, and it's not highlighting any of my dry patches, which, you know when you've got really dry skin and sometimes you apply a foundation to it or a powder or something, and then you look in the mirror and all you can see is your dry patches, and you've either got to start again or look like that for the rest of the day. That's how my makeup's been sitting on my skin for such a long time. I think it's like your skin cells, it takes a while for them to renew, so obviously I'm tackling it with the exfoliating mask and thick moisturiser, so hopefully that will do the trick. Okay, I'm happy with that. And I'm going to apply a little bit. I have got like a powder highlighter, but I'm going to apply a little bit of cream highlighter just above the cheekbone. Just because I've used a moisturiser, I might as well. So this one is one of the lightest shades, it's iridescent, and it's a cream luminizer. And I'll probably apply a little bit more than I actually need, just so you can see, so it translates well on the camera. So what I'd normally do is use a fan brush with the powder, and I'd kind of sweep it like just above the eyebrow and just kind of around the top bit of the cheekbone. I always apply a little bit to your Cupid's bow as well. Again, it highlights your lips, makes them look a little bit bigger. Are you off now?
Yep.
And Steve's off to work. It's okay. See you later. Steve's jealous that he's off to work and I can go outside and enjoy the sunshine now. Okay, that's a little bit of highlighter, and I'm just going to bounce it into the skin a little bit there. Just make sure it's blended in properly. And I might just apply, I might do a little bit of setting powder actually, just a tiny bit. So setting powder, this keeps it in place. It's particularly good, especially on like a hot day like today. So, you know, if you're out, it's translucent, it's got no colour to it at all, so you don't need colour matching for this. And it does keep your makeup in place. I'm just going to apply it a very tiny bit. There's hardly any on the brush at all. Some people also use it, you know, if they put on quite a lot of bronzer or blusher, just to tone it down a little bit. And then I'm just going to finish off with a little bit of Hottie Lip Plumper. So this is what it says on the tin. It's a lip plumper. It's got a nice precise wand again, and it makes your lips feel all lovely and tingly when you apply it. And I did notice, because I did try it, and I did notice a slight difference in how plump my lips were looking when I've used it. So you can apply this, you can wear it anytime really, you can apply it under lip products as well, or even on top of them. But this was a limited edition product, so it wasn't available, but it currently is in our Million Reasons to Celebrate collection, because we reached 1 million presenters with unique presenters, so they released a collection which has got the Hottie Lip Plumper it's got a blusher, a little bit like this one, but just two similar shades. These are like metallic blushes and they've got like a built-in luminizer into them. And also you get one of the brand new perfumes as well. Right, so over the top of that I'm just going to apply a little bit of Lucid, which is one of our lip glosses. It's a bit like I guess a kind of vintage like rose. So these are tinted lip glosses. You can apply them over lipsticks as well. I don't really like to because I don't want to mess up the wand. And they've got like a nice handy little mirror, so if you're out and about and want to touch it up, it's really great for that. But that was all that I wanted to show you today. So I've used highlight and contour, the BB creams, and you can actually get these in a set from the website. It's like the contour kit. I've used beauty blenders. You can obviously use any. So I've used, the shades I used was Cream, which is the lightest shade. We'll do 6 shades, and Honey, which is just a couple of shades darker, I think. And then on my lips I've just used Lucid Lucrative Lip Gloss. I've used the Hottie Lip Plumper, and I'm wearing Epic Mascara. I think that's all that you need to know. So if you have watched, thank you for popping on and watching. And if you do have any questions about any of our products or even about the opportunity itself, then just get in touch. You know, just pop into my inbox and, you know, we can have a chat from there. But thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon. Go and enjoy the sun. Bye.